I want to apologize to the creator of this artwork. Even though it says do not repost, I do not intend on making it a repost thing just for the YouTube video because here's the problem. There was another sun god bakugo picture, but a little spicy, and I didn't want to use it because of YouTube algorithm. So if you have told by this little thing, I want to give a quick thing. This one is technically a musical, so yeah. Just want to give that quick out. If you know the song, it's Moon Rises, and hope you guys enjoy. And by the way, give a quick warning, Katsuki is not loyal. No, Elena and Hawks were the sun gods. Well, moon and sun gods. Don't you remember their love story lore? And besides, Katsuki is the sun god of variance, Momo agreed. Well, according to old textbooks, the real sun god and moon gods were Katsuki and Yin, Monoma snapped. Hey, why don't we ask Professor Izuku? Maybe he may have the answer, Jiro suggested. So the group quickly hunted down Izuku, the history teacher, and bombarded him with many questions about the original sun and moon gods. With a sigh, Izuku took his glasses and smiled sweetly at his students. Well, you're both right, Izuku said simply. What? The students asked. Izuku smiled and pulled out a very old-looking grimoire from a secret compartment of his desk. You are both right. Yin and Elena were the moon goddesses, and Katsuki and Hawks were the sun gods, Izuku said. So are you saying that the people just over time changed the mythos? Jiro questioned. No, I have a record of the change. It is form of a interesting story. Would you like to hear it? Izuku asked his students. Yes, his students answered excitedly. A long time ago, when the world was still young, the god of the universe, All Might, had sealed the god of evil, All for One. Though, over time, he realized that he couldn't keep watch over the god on his own. So he created the sun and moon gods, Katsuki of the sun and Yin of the moon. After them, All Might created many other gods, goddesses, and angels, and other creatures. For example, Elena, the moon goddess of dreams and Hawks, was the god of the skies and harvest. But back to Yin and Katsuki. Their story is a sad one. You see, the two were lovers. The sun and the moon would meet in the sky all the time. Yin was a very shy and soft-spoken, and would shy away from the view of the humans most nights. But it was thanks to Katsuki that she would reappear every month. Katsuki was a cocky and loud sun god that brought light to the world and weakened the evil god's powers for a long time. They guided their respective celestial castles through the sky, yet somehow the two loved each other greatly. But that image started to tear as humans started to populate the earth. Oh, Katsuki, you're here. How is your day? Yin asked with her soft voice. It was fine. The sacrifices and offerings were great as usual, but I managed to hunt something for us, Katsuki said as he pulled his lover into a passionate kiss. Katsuki hunted a healthy looking boar. So while they waited for their meal to finish, Yin guided the moon across the sky, while Katsuki maneuvered the humans through all Yin's all-seeing crystals. The dark god took the opportunity to strike. A tiny wasp created by All for One sneaked its way into the moon palace and stung Katsuki. On the back of his neck. Katsuki winced in pain as he quickly burned the wasp. Little did he know the dark energy had pumped into Katsuki. As he turned back to observe the mortals, when Katsuki spotted a beautiful mortal princess named Ava, the darkness grasped at his heart as All for One whispered into Katsuki's ear. Beautiful, isn't she? All for One whispered. Katsuki couldn't look away. He shut his eyes tight as he dropped the magic. He tried his hardest to shove the image of the beautiful mortal out of his mind. As he crawled into bed with Yin, his heart was filled with lust. But as the days and nights continued, the whispers and the squeeze on Katsuki's heart grew intense. So he caved and slept with the princess, thinking as long as it wasn't under the night sky, so Yin may not see, sadly falling into Overhaul's plan. All for One whispered into Ava's ear of afar with a god. Ava, being an arrogant princess she was, too, told many of the servants of her and quarters, and the story eventually reached Yin's ears. At first, Yin ignored these stories, but soon started to doubt her lover's loyalty when she would wake up to find her bed empty and lover missing. Despair filled her heart as she looked away from the sight in Katsuki's bed with a mortal. As she fell to her knees, All for One smiled at the goddess's vulnerable state as his wasp pricked her skin as chaos energy flowed through her. Song time! Now the hour has come at last, the soft and fading light. Yin sang sadly. She slowly stood up and walked to the balcony overlooking the earth below. Across the west horizon and as bid us good night. And what a lovely night it is to walk a moonlight field, to see the softer shades that are by starlights more now revealed. Yin sang as she remembered a time where the two would stroll through the moonlight meadows together. She would have his arm wrapped around her waist, and he held her close. So why is it that now, when it's all quiet and at rest, when candles glow and all the world is at its very best, the image of our lover and the human flashed in her mind? The humans of Equestria should lock themselves away to shun the moon and wait instead for Katsuki's sunny day. Am I so wrong to wish that they would see me like I do? And am I so wrong to think that he might love me too? Yin said as anger and jealousy grew in her heart. Why shouldn't he adore me? Is it not within my rights? I'll not be overshadowed. Mine is not the lesser light, she shouted into the night sky. I've waited long enough now for him to come around, and though the sun may plead and threaten, the moon will stand her ground, she said as the evil energy consumed the moon goddess. Down on earth below, the two continued their affair when Katsuki noticed that the moon turned blood red. What's wrong, Katsuki? Ava purred, but it quickly turned into shock when she saw how red the moon became. Katsuki quickly got out of the bed and left to see what happened to Yin. It comes to this at last. I will no longer yield the sky if they cannot love but one princess alone. See, the moon is rising. She has come to claim the heavens for her own. And all will know the wonder of my dark and jeweled sky when all the world is wrapped in an eternal lullaby. So say goodnight to this, the final setting of the sun. Tomorrow dawns a darkening. The nighttime has begun. Katsuki stared in horror at his lover. Her once beautiful and cute bashful smile has turned cold and chilling one. Sadly, Katsuki bakugo was forced to kill Yin before she could release All for One. As the two fought, the world had thrown into chaos. So, with a heavy heart, he took his son's sealed sword and stabbed it into her heart. The last moments he had with her, Yin glaring at Katsuki with pure hatred in her eyes as she burned to ash. Yin, I'm so sorry, he sobbed over her ashes. As he cried, he heard a dark chuckle coming from the dark forest behind him. There stood the silhouette of All for One. Katsuki growled as he turned to the evil god. You did this to me, Katsuki growled as he pointed his sword at All for One. No, I simply gave you a small push. It was you who couldn't stop taking in the forbidden fruit, he chuckled, disappearing into the darkness. No! Katsuki screamed in anger, slowly falling to his knees. So what happened after? The students asked. Katsuki resigned from being the sun god and gave his rule to Hawks, while Elena took up the role of the moon goddess, and from then All Might forbid the celestial opposites from meeting in hopes of avoiding another catastrophe like so. Izuku explained as he closed the book. That's so sad, Momo said as she wiped her tears away. It indeed is a sad tale. I do believe that there is more parts to this story because, hint, hint, there are 2 other gods and goddesses. Well, just 2. Well, you're the goddess, or god, in this story. And then you'll have the sweet, innocent little Deku. So I hope you guys enjoy. And, well, get to listen to these next ones. It will be a while though, because that Deku one will be a long ways away. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys later. Bye!